من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. We're thankful to Allah for blessing us to be here today on this first Sunday and having this opportunity to do what we can to help in maintaining the initiatives of Imam and Mohammed I. And we say, Allah tells us in the Quran to say, Kul inna salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya wa mamati lillahi rabbil alameen. Say, Allah tells us to say it, don't just imply that you think that's why you say it. Say, surely my prayers and my sacrifice, my life and my death are all for Allah. And so that's what we strive to do. Sometimes you might not like what we say. I just got through being put in my place. Brother told me, stick to it, you know. But he was talking about water. So I didn't tell him how much water to drink. I told him how much I drink. And he didn't tell me it's private. He told me right in front of Brother Rasul. You interrupted the conversation. You stick to what you know. No, you stick to religion, that's what he said. All right, alhamdulillah.
I'm glad you brought that up because there's some new talk about water now.
Yeah.
I've heard it on the reports. You know, they changed these reports. The best the guidance for how to eat, drink, and live. Period. It's the Quran.
It is.
It's the Quran.
Quran and listening to your own body.
Now they saying you don't have, and listening to your body. Now they saying listen to your body. I think it's because the science is coming closer to the Quran.
Oh yeah.
But I've heard recently. I'm just curious to know because I used to watch my father drink like a gallon of water every day. Mm-hmm. And now they're saying that too much water can be unhealthy.
Yeah.
And, but for you, a gallon of water, if you sweat and run a lot, it's probably not enough. Other people, they say that you shouldn't force too much water.
Yeah. As long as we got that far, and I drink a half a gallon a day. I can drink a quart in the morning and a quart in the evening, but I don't drink it all that way. I don't drink either quart all at the same time. At one time, I'm at home, so I'll just take my throat get a little dry, just take me a little sip, and by the time I go to bed at night, I have finished 2 quarts, but I don't prescribe that for you, Brother Jethro. All right. What we have on the board today is because we're making real good progress with the app that's on the phone, the one that says one that you put in Al Quran, Tafsir, and word by word. Al Quran, Tafsir, and word by word. That app is so useful. There are lots of study apps on, but that one we find that is so useful to. We have some people who participate in the Quranic Arabic discussion now. On Sunday mornings, I have to raise my hand almost to get a chance to have some input. They once they see where we're going, and so what we have today, we have ma fi ismun. And I just thought that was a nice little title, since the word that we are working with is ismun. Ma fi ismun, and that's saying what's in a name. And I know we have heard that phrase, but today our approach to it is not the one that you have heard in the word. What's in a name? This is literally the word for name, and in order to really find out what is in this word for name, I think I'll be all right. I'm not in any pain, but sometimes the left ankle just decides it's going to let me go, and it doesn't give me any warning. And so Dr. Rasul just told me what to do. Now he made a suggestion that I'm going to try, inshallah.
What, can you share it?
Tiger balm, he said. Tiger balm. Yeah, tiger balm.
So that's probably due to inflammation, arthritis, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know really what it is. I think I developed it from. I think it has to do with circulation.
Yeah, everything is nerves. So
Yeah,
it's probably a nerve.
right. I never had that problem until I got out there driving all those hours on lift and not using that left leg at all. You know, because the left leg is just sitting there. You know, so sitting there idle. I don't have any problem with the right leg. The left one just every now and then it just not when I'm just standing on it, but when I make a move. And all depends. I don't know. I have to check to see. Are you gonna let me stand or not? You know?
and did you ever had a knee give out?
Yeah, the knee was. That left knee would do the same thing, but right now it's the ankle. You know.
Yeah.
So, but I think. I mean, that's why I think it developed from just that leg
now
being.
Now you're conscious of it,
Yeah.
so you prepared to make sure you don't fall and hit your head.
Yes, sir, right.
President Carter, he just got out of the hospital.
Yeah.
He's 90-something years old.
So, well, now, you know, sometimes falling can be a matter of balance. Mine is not balanced. In other words, when I'm saying I don't feel off, don't lose my balance.
It's nerve.
I lose my support.
It's nerve damage, I know, because I had sciatica. I damaged or crushed the nerve in my back. And, a couple of years ago, I couldn't walk for like a month.
Yeah.
And I had to go to the hospital to get the steroids to reduce the swelling so that I could walk again. And
Well,
now
you should have gone to Dr. Rasul.
it's affected my shoulders, and it also had affected my knees. I got on a ladder, and luckily I hadn't made it up to I was on my way to the 4th step. I had only made it to the 2nd step. I fell off the ladder onto the floor because that knee
Gave away?
completely gave away. It's the nerve.
Yeah, well, mine right now, I know it has to do with the nerve. Mine right now, they say, is the ankle, you know. But next month I'll be fine.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, says Doctor. Okay, so the question, ism. And that's the question, says, what's in a name? Okay, so I thought that would just, kind of let us focus on it, because really when we talk about what's in a name here, you can't go to the word name and really get what's in it. What we're talking about. You have to go to the root word, and that's the key. So I wrote the root word here in blue. I can put the vowels on it. I didn't put the vowel on it, but su, mu, one. Now, this is where the app drops you. It leaves you there. So you will have to use your dictionary. And when you use the dictionary to try to find Samoan, it all depends on what dictionary you use. Okay, so I want to show you that. As many of you probably have the dictionary called Dictionary of the Holy Quran, and it will have this as the root word. Samad. Now, but it will not be right after seeing to me. It will be over where it should, where this would be. And then it will show you underneath it. It will show you Sumu underneath it. I don't know why he chose to do that, except that the more modern this is the more modern usage of the word is samad. In other words, this is good, but this is, and he won't have anything. He just have that there. And this is but alphabetical order. The reason why I'm telling you, because if you look in an alphabetical order and you go to seen, mean, and then you think the next one is going to add, it won't be there. It's about 2 pages further along. If anyone has, I should have brought mine with me. If anyone has it, but I have to deal with it on the Sunday morning group, because a lot of people have it, so I always have it on my desk. Excuse me. Too much water. Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to show you, that with that Dictionary of the Holy Quran, this and other words, there are some other, not all, but some other words, you may find in a different place as the root word. But when you do find it, it will be where the original root word would have been. So it won't be a it won't be a sama'a. It will actually be where sama'u, where sin, meme, and u would be. That's why you find it. And like I said, it's about 2 pages. I think it's two and a half pages after where this would be alphabetically. All right. Now, when we started studying this particular word, and we are on the way now. Next week we're going to start with. Next Sunday we will start with Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. And of course, once we have done a word, then when we run into that word again, we don't redo it. For instance, today with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, we did the Bismi, we did Allah, and we did Rahman and Rahim. But when we did Rahman, Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim, we didn't do them separately because it's going to take you to the same page for your root information. And both of them will show you the same. Now what this app does when you go to the, for instance, what I did to get, and I just put some examples. What I did to get is when I got to Bismillah, I hit on Bismi. And when I hit on Bismi, then it came up, this came up, soon. All right. Then it says, place that underneath on the bottom of the app that says, tap there for more information. When I tap the new place for more information, then it takes me finally to show me that some form of Sumun, some form of it, is in the Quran 381 times, I believe it was. As a matter of fact, I can look and see. It won't take but a second. 381 times. I had no intentions of writing all 381 of them up here today. What I was going to do is, 381 times. What I was going to do, I know you probably, they can't see that on the camera, can they? Okay. Okay?
If you want to see it.
Okay. All right, let me know when you, and I'll show you exactly. I'll do it on camera. If somebody might have sharp enough eyes to see it.
I'm ready.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go back to the Al-Fatiha itself. Okay. Okay. We have the Al-Fatiha here like this. All right. Now what we're going to do is tap on the first word. We can tap on any word we want, but we'll tap on the first word, which is Bismi. That's right here. So if I tap on that, now it shows me Bismi, then it shows me Ism, and then underneath Ism it shows me Sumun, and it says that's the root. I raise it, roll it up a little bit more. Underneath that it says click for more. Click for more. I tap on click for more. You might be able to see it if your eyes are fast enough. And it takes me up to show me that Bismi, and I have to roll it up to get to the bottom of the page. And then it doesn't give me any more information there, but it tells me to click for more. When I click this time, it's going to show me how many times the word is in the Quran. All right. Now it says, right at the bottom there, it says, root Sumun was found, and I raised it up 381 times.
381 times.
You can see it. All right, 381 times.
Now,
And
these monitors, they need some help. We need to probably get a service, but over here in the camera is crystal clear.
all right, good. Okay, all right. Well, if they can get enough information, because the main thing is you should put it on your phone. You roll it up and you start seeing the different places. Now, I have it written on the board. The first place that it shows me is that Bismi, and it says in the name. We know that Imam Mohammed taught us that this is better said with the name. Okay, Bismi. And then it tells you, it says 1, and then it have a colon. That's chapter 1. Another 1, you have a colon. That's verse 1. And then another 1, and you have another colon, and you have another 1. You have 3 1s. It's telling you it's the first verse, first chapter, first verse, and first word in the verse. First word in the verse. That's the information. All right. So it's the first verse, the first word in the verse. It's Bismi. All right. And then so what I did then was to show you. Then I went to the next one. The next one on this app here. Let me see if I can try to see if we can get back to it. We can get back to it. All right. It didn't move. I wound up touching it somehow. Okay. The next entry is the second chapter, the 31st verse, and the third word. Second chapter, 31st verse, and the third word. I also have that written on the board. And the word that is there is El Asma. Now, the first word we had was Bismi. Now we have Asma. So they're ending, the first word has a Kesra on the Bismi. The first one we have, a Bismi, has a Kesra on the last letter. That means that word is referring to something of ownership. In this case, it's referring to the fact that this name belongs to Allah, or Bismi. All right. Because then when you read further, Bismillah, you'll see that Allah ends in the Kesra also, meaning that it belongs to Allah. Okay. So that's why I have it up here like, what did I do? I put it up here, I put with. This doesn't say with Allah, it just says with name. But the implication is Allah, and Allah comes next. So that's why I put the 3 dots in there, because the order is changed for English. We say Allah's name, whereas with the Arabic we says name and then Allah coming after. The adjective or that which is describing comes after the noun itself in Arabic. So that's why I put the 3 dots there like that. So because I didn't want to falsely say that Allah is there in that word. Allah is not there in that word. It's just Bismi, and then the next word lets me know what would have been there in the English order, and that is Allah, Bismillah. So it's now saying Allah with Allah. So I put the 3 dots there, and then I put with name, really mean with Allah's name. All right, now Asma 231. Asma. That one is referring to the names, the El Asma, and it's the El meaning the, so that's the prefix in front of Ism, and then the long at the end of it is a suffix, pluralizing it. All right, Asma. So El Asma. This is El. El-Isma. Prefix, the El, and then the Ismun, and then the the long is a suffix. So what I did with the class, and of course we have a little longer to deal with, as a matter of fact, Rasul lets us go, and we quit when we want to. So sometimes we quit after an hour, and sometimes we may go longer than an hour. But what I did was went through, on my own time, went through all 381 times that some form of Sumun is listed in the Quran. And then I went through and sorted. If I saw one was duplicated, I didn't write it down again. But if there was any difference, including the last vowel at the end, I would write it down. So we had like Asma, Asmi, Asmu. Well, that's 3 different ways. Let me show you what that looks like, what I'm talking about. All right, we're gonna write the same word 3 times, and this is listed. Asma. Well, let's do it in order. Asmu. Asma. And Asmi. Now these 3 forms are listed I, I put all three of them on the list. Why? Because the last vowel is different. All right. Everything is the same except the last vowel. This is nominative. This is objective, means something. Nominative means that you're naming. Nouns always name, but here nominative means that you're naming something that is either the actor or just listing a name, or it is the doer in the sentence, the subject of a sentence. Then that's nominative case. Asma is referring to the fact that something is done to or for that noun. And then asmi would be where it is talking about possession, something belonging to it, or something belonging to it. So nominative, objective, and possessive. Okay, so then when these three forms are repeated anywhere, I didn't do them again. That's what I was trying to get to. I wound up with only 35 different forms. Now, I haven't gone back. I will go back and certify, go over that. You got 381 words, you have to really go back and make sure. Because all of them are dealing with the same root. Ism, same root. So, and from this root, we get the word samawati. Now, this is speaking to our concern about what's in the name. Samawati. I didn't have it on the board, but we can write it up here now. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do that. All right, I can do it over here. Samawati. And of course, then you put L on top on front also. As-samawati. Okay, so we put as-samawati. We'll do that a little different. We put the L here, and we ignore then put a shadda here. Because of sundown, we ignore the L, the lamb itself, and go straight to the scene because they're both sundown. As-samawati. Who knows what as-samawati is? I see you sitting over there, Sister Sharifa. You know what that is. Huh? As-samawati. No, as-samawati. The heavens. The heavens. Now, the reason why I had to make sure I cover that before my time was up, because I asked a question, what's in the name? And that particular phrase in English will leave us hanging, because it's really not what's in the name, it's really what's in the height. Because the root word for ism is sumun, which means lofty or height, something that's high up, and that's where the skies come in, high up. Say, well, how does that relate to name? That relates to name like there's a group of you here today, and while I'm talking, if I say brother, that would be, we had, quite a few, okay, 4, 8 that I see, 9 with myself. I think that's a sister over there. Yes, okay. Okay, all right, so now, but to pick that brother out, I go to his ism, and that lifts him up out of the group. I can do the same thing with the sister. Now, sometimes it may be, or somebody may have the same name, but at least it restricts it to those who have that same name. The name lifts you out of the group and gives you not physical height, but conceptual height, so that we conceive of one person in the group or several persons in the group by that name. So that's how name is related to heights as far as the heavens and the skies. Samawati is skies. As-samawati, the heavens. All right. So I wanted to make sure that we got that covered to understand that the phrase that we are used to saying what's in a name has far more meaning when we go to the Arabic, because now we're talking about anything that lifts it up out of the group or out of the collection of those things. That's a height elevation. It's an elevation. And the skies are elevated. We think of of the skies and the heavens. Matter of fact, sometimes the same word is translated for skies is also transferred for heaven. The same word is transferred for heaven, depending on what other words are in the sentence. Because sometimes when it's talking about rain, it doesn't say rain comes from heaven. Rain is coming from the sky. Okay, but that same word is there. Where another place, that same word be used to refer to heaven. All right. Any questions? Do you have any questions? Sometimes, we have good class on Sunday morning, good discussion on Sunday morning because people ask questions. But if you don't say anything, I don't know. Maybe you might want me to stick to what I know, and that's how to sit down. Yes. Someone over here has. Oh, yes, that's right. They want the mic. Wa alaikum assalam.
In Ayano Kursi, there's a phrase that says, Lahu mafi samawati wa mafi al-ard. How is it used there? Lahu mafi
As there is used reversed as the heavens, yes. Yeah, samawati. Lahu mafi samawati. Lahu means for him or to him, belong. To him belong. Okay, so yes, that's that, but you made the right application. Okay, so there's referred to the heavens. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Sister called me back this morning after class, and she was working on an assignment that we had a long time ago. Some people don't forget she's still working. We're working on the attributes, and she had found an attribute that we were talking about. Some attributes that might not be listed in the Quran, and so she said that last one I can't find it in the Quran. And so either this evening or I'll probably do it sometime either today, later on today or tomorrow. So give her a call back. She lives in St. Louis, and let her know how she can chase that down. Because the last attribute is sabr. You said the last of the attribute sabr. As-subur. I'm saying the root word. As-subur. As-subur is the last attribute. As-subur. All right, and. What I did after I talked to her was I went to, because it was easy to find. We know that we have the word. I knew if you recognize the root of subur as being sabr, we have that in one of the first surahs that we learn hopefully after the Al-Fatiha, and that's Asr. What's it? Tawassaw bil haqqi wa tawassaw bis sabr. And when I went through it, I didn't find as-subur anywhere. Not even I didn't find any form close to it. As far as where the long vowel subur, there was no bur anything. As-subur. So there were sabru, but not subur. So I feel pretty comfortable in saying, although I haven't checked the whole Quran out. But sometimes, by the way, sometimes this app is not on the money exactly. When you're close enough where you'll be able to get to it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. The app tells you how many times that the word is mentioned in the Quran. And so we were talking about that this morning on this word ism, sumu. And she pointed out from the dictionary that she was using, the dictionary of the Holy Quran, that the number of times is not equal to 381. So I pointed out, I got my dictionary, I was on page 28, so I got my dictionary. She told me which page, so it saved time. I went to page 28 and I saw, I've forgotten exactly what the number was, but it was close to 200 times less than what the app said. So it said 381, it was 200, it was 200 and something. Anyway, we looked over and saw that what he had done was he separated, in the dictionary of the Holy Quran, separated some of the words out of ilaha. Ilaha is separated some of the words out, and one of the words that he had out was Allahumma. which was 5 of the times. And then after I showed her that, then she went and found where 11 was also separated out of the word, from the word Allah, and that was another 100 and sometime. Anyway, when you add them all up, they wound up being just 2 different. one was 381, and the other one was no, this wasn't 381 because we were talking about Allah. I'm talking about the Islam now. The word Allah. But anyway, it wound up being two. One was 49, and the other, I think 349, the other one 351. But 351. So this is a good help. I see you be red-eyed. No, I'm talking about your big old red-eyed. Look at me. I'm not talking about your red-eyed. I'm talking about the clock. You had 2 big old red zeros there. Okay. But yes, sir. Yes. Matter of fact, let me write it on the board. Okay. That way everybody can see. See that ankle dig way over there, but I had something in my hand. Okay. It is very helpful. And if you're talking about time, one of the fastest ways to pass time. I heard people talk about killing time. Brother told me that one time. I'm serious. Brother told me that one time. One brother told me, brother, I just come by, I want to kick it with you. I said, my thoughts are too important to be kicking around. So this brother here said, I just want to kill some time with you. I said, brother, time is life. That's a little mini suicide.
But that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
He's saying to waste time is to kill time.
Yeah,
why
right.
would you do that?
Yeah, right. Why you want to do that? But if you want time to pass fast, get this app. Like, whoa! I said I'm just gonna look this one of them. And I look up, man, I was gone so quick. I've been up since 5:30 this morning, and wound up almost being late. Cause I just one more thing. I just want to check this. I think I checked this, and it just leads you from one thing to another. So this is what you put in Google, however you do, whether it's Brother Akbar can tell you how to do it on iPhone. Quran Tafsir and word by word. All right. And what's going to come up, it'll be a ball like this with some Arabic in it. I don't remember what the Arabic word, I'm just going to put this on. And it'll have several Arabic terms in a little round ball. You tap on that ball, and then it'll show you where you have an opportunity to download it. Now that's for the Pofo's phone. That's for the Android. If you have an iPhone, see, it's similar.
You just go to the App Store.
But you go to the App Store. That's right. Go to the App Store. And this you just go to Google. Just go to Google in the regular Android. Okay. Any other questions or comments? We thank you very much, and we close out with a dua. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين Assalamu alaikum.